Baseball by the Bay, AT Park in San Francisco. And the crowd filing in, another sellout expected, 286 consecutive sellout to come to see the Giants and the Padres. And Seth Smith, a couple of more hits last night, continues to use that good left-handed swing to pound the best batting average of any Padre. And Buster Posey, he too was hot, hitting .407 in the last 8 games. The catcher unable to come up with a base hit last night. As we welcome you to Game 2, 3-game series here in San Francisco. The Padres, fresh from that 6-0 win last night against the first-place San Francisco Giants. And good evening, everyone, with Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. Pleased that you're with us. The talk around town is still about the 27-year-old Cuban right-hander.
Boy, he was dealing last night. He was flipping it up there, having a good old time. He was poised. He wasn't scared off. And when you look at the numbers for Despaigne, he just kept these Giants hitters well off balance. 7 solid innings, only 4 hits. Seemed like he's been out there for 4 or 5 years, Dick, fielding his position pretty well, but pretty good numbers. 7 or more innings, scoreless innings, that is, in his major league debut. 4th pitcher in Padres history to do that. And you know what? This team really needed that. Bud Black needed their starter to go 7+ innings, and he answered the bell last night.
Now get this, in 100 years, only 7 pitchers have gone 7 shutout innings in their major league debut without walking a man, and Despaigne is one of those. Well, he was a delight last night, and equally so for Jesse Hahn tonight.
Jesse Hahn is the young 24-year-old right-hander who's got a heck of a repertoire. He's a 4-pitch pitcher, but one thing that works for him is the curveball. Look at, when I say nose to toes, yes, this is kind of like chin to kneecaps, but still, this is a pitch that pretty much has not gone by the wayside, but you don't see the 12-6 curveball very much. But he gets on top, he gets great rotation, and you see the difference there, Dick. That's about a, what, 3.5, 4 foot
drop. Yeah, 4 foot drop.
It's very, very tough for hitters to square that up, and that's what makes Jesse Hahn so effective.
That curveball breaks right off the table, and Tim Hudson, the veteran, he knows how to pitch. He's reinvented himself as a free agent with the Giants.
You know, Tim Hudson doesn't throw as hard as he used to, but he is locating the fastball, the running fastball. And when you look at versus San Diego, yeah, good numbers, but at home, unbeatable. What makes him so effective? He just dots 14 walks in 94 innings pitched. This guy can close his eyes with blinders and hit his spots. That's what makes Tim Hudson so effective.
Well, it's a tough test for the Padres. Hudson has started 7 games here at AT&T this year, and the Giants have won all 7. 5-0 go on the Hudson mark. But we've got more to say about Despaigne. Dominating debut. Is that just a one-time only, or is this Padre going to make a difference as we move toward the All-Star break? Chris Button with that report when we return.
What an outing by Odrisamer Despaigne yesterday, the 27-year-old Cuban rookie, pitching 7 straight shutout innings and not giving up a single walk. And it certainly impressed Buddy Black.
That was a hell of an outing. Are you kidding me? That was great. He pitched. I think when we saw him for the first time in spring training, when he just threw a side session, you could tell that this guy, had an idea of what he does. The command of the fastball, both sides of the plate, to both lefties and righties, doing some things with the fastball, a little bit of a cut fastball into the lefty away from the righty. The wide variance of velocities, from 93 all the way down to, the high 60s. So really, really well-pitched game.
And Buddy Black's so impressed, he's going to give him another start on Sunday. Coming up on further review, how's the replay system working? Our Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney will take a look at that coming up on Fox Sports San Diego.
Next. Moment. In his major league debut last night, Padres right-hander Odrisamer Despaigne shut down the offense of the NL West first-place Giants, leaving many to say, who is this guy? They've been asking the same about Padres rookie Jesse Hahn. Now, can two rookies topple the best in the NL West? Padres and Giants next. That's quite a 1-2 punch, the two rookies, as the Giants have taken the field, and the Padres will face a very tough right-hander, Tim Hudson, who has won 212 major league games, never had a losing season in 15 years, and he's 7-2 lifetime against the Padres. 1-1 this year. We're set to go. Will Venable checks in. Hudson ready to fire, and this ball game is underway. A strike, and Hudson is just that, a strike thrower. Keeps the ball low. Venable, Padres waiting for him to break out, show the offensive punch that he provided last year with 22 home runs and 22 steals. This year, 2 home runs, 3 steals. Look at the weather. Typical San Francisco. Cool night. Winds a little stronger, 17 miles an hour out of the west. They'll need the sweaters before the game's through. 2-1. Hudson will be 39 next month. He's from Phoenix City, Alabama. Went to Auburn University, where as a senior he had one of the great records as a pitcher outfielder you'll ever find in college ball. Ground ball toward the right side, and Panic can't pick it up cleanly, and Venable's safe. The rookie second baseman had his glove on it, but couldn't squeeze it. We'll see how the official score rules. Error or base hit Venable.
Well, right off the bat, I think that's just my gut feeling. It's going to be an error. I hope Will Venable gets a hit. And what do you know? They do score an error. Thumbs down. So Caesar gives the old thumbs down.
Venable, good base runner. Here's Everett Cabrera. Cabrera, early innings of late, has tried to put the ball down on a sacrifice, move that runner into scoring position.
Well, tonight, Dick, these Padre hitters, Everett Cabrera included, they're going to get some pitches to hit. Tim Hudson is a strike thrower. You might see him swing early in the count if they get that fat pitch down knee high down the middle of the plate, because that's where Hudson usually throws them. He'll work the edges with the best of them as well.
Up the middle, made to order for 2. There's 1. It's a double play. 6-4-3. Room service double play for the Giants as we check the Padres lineup, brought to you by Toyota. We've seen Venable and Cabrera. Seth Smith steps in. Chase Headley back in the lineup in the cleanup spot. Yasmani Grandal had the big blow last night off the top of the right center field wall. Jake Gobert starts at first base, hitting 6th. Then Cameron Maben, Alexi Amarista, and the pitcher Hahn. Smith last night singled and scored and doubled in a run, 2 for 4. At the knees for a strike. Ground ball pitcher Tim Hudson, and it's already paid off with the double play here in the first inning.
If he misses down. If he goes up and out of the zone, it's by design.
Honda presents the San Francisco Giants defense, and here's how they're aligned tonight. Colvin in left, Blanco in center, Pence in right. Same outfit as started last night. Sandoval, Crawford, Panic, and Morse on the infield, and Posey behind the dish. 2 strikes to Smith. And he's caught looking, and that's Tim Hudson. Padres have a challenge tonight. Hudson is 7-3 on the season. See why incredible thinking is everywhere. Visit your local GMC dealer today. By Petco, the power of together. By your San Diego Lexus dealer. And by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com.
Here comes the SS Enberg.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Coming into port.
Little cruise on the bay. As we check the Giants lineup, brought to you by Mattress Discounters. Same as last night, except for the pitcher. Blanco leading off, then Pence, Posey, Sandoval in the cleanup spot. Michael Morse leading in home runs and RBIs. Then Tyler Colvin 6th, Brandon Crawford 7th, rookie Joe Panic in the 8th slot, and then Tim Hudson. Against Jesse Hahn, his 4th major league start.
Well, totally different type of pitcher than last night's Despaigne for the Padres. Jesse Hahn has the good fastball and the good curveball. And the scouting report looks something like this, brought to you by Jaguar of San Diego. All pitches at any count. That's what Bud Black said was a key tonight. And very poised for the young 24-year-old right-hander on the mound.
Yeah, he's shown all of that, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
6th round pick of Tampa Bay 4 years ago out of Virginia Tech. Gregor Blanco leads it off in the Giant first. 30-year-old Venezuelan. He signed as a catcher way back when. Now a speedy outfielder. Strike one. Blanco, Pence, and Posey for the Giants in the first. A lot of empty seats at the start tonight. Popped up. Shortstop Cabrera at the edge of the outfield grass. Boy, that wind really carried it back, didn't it? And a look at the Padres defense, brought to you by the Aramco Group. Seth Smith in left, Maven in center tonight, Venable in right. Headley back in the lineup after 3 days off with a bad back. Then Cabrera, Amarista up the middle. Jake Gobert gets the start at first base. Yasmani Grandal behind the plate for Jesse Hahn. A lot of those are sold. It's already considered a sellout. 286th in a row here at AT&T. Chilly night. Hence, big swing and a miss. Well, he goes after that first pitch every time.
He sure does.
You better be ready. Hence currently has the longest Major League starting streak. This is 298 consecutive games for him.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? And when you consider Cal Ripken Jr.'s record was 26-32. And what's his?
298. He's the Iron Man. Alloy Man.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. He had weak wave by Pence. He's gone. First strikeout for Hahn.
Looks like by this swing, Hunter Pence is looking for something else. He hasn't seen the curveball yet. Jesse Hahn sticking with the two-seamer away. Whoa. That ball is nearly in the glove of Yasmani Grandal, and he is trying to at least foul it off to get another chance.
Buster Posey, 68 hits. The red squares, the hot zones for Posey.
He likes to turn on that inside fastball. 14, middle in.
Outside corner, strike one.
And they've got charts for everything. And believe me, they go over those reports. They go over those charts with pitching coach Darren Balsley. Breaking balls, fastballs, averages on certain pitches.
Well, look at that ball dive, and it just misses low and inside. Posey, the last 19 games, hitting .338. So he's heating up with the weather. Right field side and back into the crowd.
You know, Dick, if I was a betting man, I would say that down and away as Bruce Bochy scratches his size 8 and witnesses this game. Down and away would be the fewest amount of hits. And look at down and away to Buster Posey, number 5. That's why Darren Balsley always stresses fastball command down and away.
Oh, the curveball in there freezes Posey as Hahn showing his stuff early. Strikes out Pence and fans Posey.
Back in the lineup after taking a few days off to kind of help heal that herniated disc in his back. He said after a couple of days and having the epidural, things are starting to feel better. But this isn't an injury that's just going to go away immediately. Said it could take 6 to 8 weeks to get it to heal on his own. Asked him when he started to feel it. He said 3 weeks ago he was trying to play through it. Finally got an MRI, and that's when it revealed that he had a herniated disc. He said the batting isn't the issue. It's more the field work and trying to run.
All right, Chris, thanks for that report. Boy, it's any of us who have had back problems, you can appreciate what Headley going through as a baseball player. The activity, goodness, sounds awful. Epidural, herniated disc. Just to say the words, it hurts. Hitting an even 200. 1-1.
So the everyday grind of this ball game of baseball will just bring you to your knees at times. Everybody's nicked up, right? You go up to any fielder who's playing in, 90% of the games. They're going to have something barking.
Yeah, you go in the clubhouse after the game, and it looks like a army ward. Everyone's wrapped up in ice and bandages and wraps. Grandal, and then the rookie Gobert to hit for the Padres here in the second. 3-1. Hudson's going to make you hit your way on. You can expect a strike here.
Only 14 walks in 95 innings now for Tim Hudson.
And he lays it right down the middle. Just try to hit it. 3-2.
And you know what, Dick? You know what he does? He'll change speeds on his fastball. He'll add and subtract. That last fastball was 89. Tim Hudson's going to be anywhere from 87 to 91. And when he takes a little bit off, creates a little movement. Fastball count, right? It's topped, but it's down the middle. It's just tough to square up.
And low and inside, he does walk Headley to lead off the inning. That'll bring up Yasmani Grandal. Grandal by a foot. Missed a 3-run homer last night. A controversial call. The fan leans over the brick wall with his cap, catches the ball. It would not have gone in the seats. Runners were at first and third. Penn saying, hey, he reached over the wall. He did indeed. The surprise was that the ruling in New York was that Smith at first base, running all the way with 2 outs, was not allowed to score. And Bud Black, furious, came out of the dugout like somebody had catapulted him out there, and he was immediately ejected. You cannot argue with the challenge replay. As soon as you come out of the dugout, you're gone. He got his money's words worth. Grandal just missing his 7th home run. He homered off Hudson earlier. Swinging the bat much better. The Honda dealers of San Diego County have Mark Grant looking at the keys to the game.
Well, we've got a couple of them tonight, Dick, as Tim Hudson is going on the mound for the Giants. 4 runs for Jesse Hahn. That's the magic number. We've talked about that before.
Score 4.
Exactly. And hop on Hudson. Hopefully draw a walk here and there. Get an extra base hit. Get some base runners home and put up some crooked numbers. He is going to be a challenge. He's been a challenge for everybody else in the National League. Padres got to get to him, hopefully.
Up the middle. That might be another double play. To second and back to first. How about that? 2 innings, 2 double plays for the Giants infield. Well, the lesson for you young pitchers, keep the ball low. You get ground balls. And they make up double plays.
Location and movement. Hudson, he gets so many ground balls. He can afford to use that big leg kick to get the most out of his pitches. Now, Grandal does not run well, right? So a nice feed right there by Panic. Crawford is always good around the bag, and they get him by a good couple steps.
And you wonder how Headley felt with that slide. That's the first test of that bag.
Look at that percentage, Dick. 58, almost 59% of the time, ground balls.
Jake Gobert, well hit, but right to the center fielder Blanco, and a quick inning thanks to the double play for Tim Hudson. earlier, which reminds us it's time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SDFanPhoto. A chance to have it shown in our telecast, brought to you by AT&T.
Oh, love that statue of Stretch. Willie McCovey, number 44, McCovey Cove.
Beautifully presented. No score. Bottom of the second inning. The Padres getting runners on in the first and second, but two quick double plays to erase any hope of an early lead. It'll be Sandoval, Morse, and Colvin against Jesse Hahn. Jesumer Despagne last night. How about that? 4 hits, a shutout ball, 7 innings, not a walk, 1 strikeout. As he twisted and turned the Giants inside out on the way to a 6-0 win, his first major league start.
He was fun to watch, wasn't he?
He really was. All the different arm angles and speeds. That slow curveball one was about 62 miles an hour. He got Sandoval out in a key spot on just that pitch. Pablo has been cooking of late. Last 41 games at .342. He's raised his batting average 94 points. He was down at 171 a month and a half ago.
You know, he's one of those hitters where over the course of time, chances are he's going to get it right. He's just proven himself for too many years to have a prolonged slump.
Typically seems to start slowly, get in the heat of summer, and becomes a very dangerous hitter. He'll chase as he does there.
Now this is where the old curveball from Jesse Hahn might come into play, or the elevated fastball. But if you get it elevated, you better make sure it's way up, way up.
Yeah, around chin high. He might tomahawk that one. There's the curveball, strike 3, and that's 3 in a row. Hahn has struck out, and 3 good ones: Pence, Posey, and Sandoval.
I went into Buddy Black's office before the game today. I said, "What do you like about Jesse Hahn?" And he said, "I just love the dude drop in. The old curveball, just drop it in there. Please do drop it in for the strikeout." Great looking pitch by the youngster. The dude drop in.
Yeah, he may have learned that at Virginia Tech in the Uncle Charlie class.
Yeah, nothing hokey about that one.
That's right. Michael Morse takes it high. If you can keep that fastball 93 mile an hour range, complementing that big curveball. And as you've said before, what happens when he learns a good change?
Oh man.
1-1.
And you know, Dick, you make a good point. Incorporating and learning that third pitch. Well, what's that take? Well, on the side, bullpens. Throw it, throw it, throw it until it becomes muscle memory and it becomes second nature. I don't think it's something you want to work on in a ball game. But I'm a firm believer, and we've talked about this as well. I think a pitcher can succeed at the big league level with 2 pitches: the fastball, 2-seamer, 4-seamer, and also the curveball. But you got to learn how to locate it, right?
Well, the fastball, if you can use the 2 and 4-seamer, that's really 2 pitches.
Exactly. Yep.
That 2-seamer acts like almost a reverse slider.
Yep.
1-2. That one scattered some fans. Thank goodness it might have hit that empty seat. And the ushers making sure that fans okay. Yeah, as long as I got this apple right here, I'm okay. One and 2 to Morse. Curveball had him out in front.
Yeah, you can judge a lot by the swings, how good that curveball is. Sandoval swung on and missed. That last swing falling out of play. In the last 2 starts, pretty darn good looking numbers right there for Jesse Hahn.
14 strikeouts, 13 innings. He's got 3 already of the first 4 men he's faced. Did he go? No. First base umpire tonight is Adam Hamari. One of the young additions to the umpiring colony. 24 Hahn, almost 39 Hudson.
Jim Hudson has a great career. Jesse Hahn just starting out. And who knows how long he will go. Keeps throwing two seamers like that and breaking off that curveball and throwing good strikes, good command of those strikes. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
Morris has worked the count full. Here comes the snake. Get high in the air to right field. That's carrying. And Venable just enough room. First well hit ball, 2 away in the second.
Hey fans, as you know, every Saturday is baseball night in San Diego. You want to be a part of it. Get your new Padres fedora, presented by Cox and supported by Kogo. Saturday, June 28th. Padres are going to face off against the Snakes. Diamondbacks are in town. First pitch is 7:10. All fans will get a great looking Padres fedora. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at Padres.com.
That's like a dress hat, isn't it? That fedora thing?
Yeah.
You have about 7 or 8 of those. Huh?
I've got like 40 of them at home. I'm a big fan of the lids.
Tyler Colvin takes a fastball. Just missed. Colvin hitting .258. With Angel Pagan on the DL with a back injury, Colvin getting several weeks of work. Brandon Belt also on the DL, left thumb fracture. He's about to start rehab. There's the curve, and he can plant it in there, can't he?
That's another point Bud Black made, Dick, is that he can throw his curveball at any time.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Bases empty, 2 outs here in the second. Strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the first, 2 more here in the second for Jesse Hahn. Cameron Maben will lead it off in the top of the third with Amarista and Hahn to follow. No score in San Francisco. And their fans against the San Francisco Giants. And time now for our Fan Diego fans of the game. Now, those are the fedoras from last year. Great giveaway. Fans are really enjoying them, and we see them all through this season. Anxious to see the style they're giving away Saturday night. Baseball night in San Diego against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Come out and get yours.
That is a great giveaway. A quality item.
Maben at .267, singles to right field. First hit of the game. Maben going the opposite way. Doing more and more of that, and he's paying off.
You talk about beating the shift. This ball looked like it was down, and he hit it well on the right side. Look where Buster Posey's glove is. Hudson, kind of leaks middle in, right? tell you, to hit the ball that sharply down and in, go the other way. That's a nice job by Cameron.
So Maben aboard. Alexi Amarista, the batter. We've been crowing every year about the importance of scoring first and how that correlates into victory. Never more so than when you talk about these Giants. You don't want them to score first, because when they do this year, they're 32-10. Beat them to the punch, as the Padres did last night with 3 runs in the 4th inning. Ooh. Just did get a little the inside edge. Amarista puzzled by that call. Yeah, it was there. Good call by Brian O'Nora, the plate umpire.
Yeah, the reason why I think it looked awkward, Dick, is because Posey was set up away and he kind of had to reach across. But in fact, it looked like a pretty good pitch. And
it was.
The proof is in the pudding there.
O'Nora with the eyes of an eagle there behind the plate. Maben hasn't been running as he has in the past. Only 2 stolen bases. Big lead. Up the middle and through to center field. Maben keeps right on it going. Here's going to be the throw at third base. Going to be close. And he's safe. And into second goes Amarista on the throw. So good base running by the Padres. It was close enough for Blanco. He had to make the throw to third. And as soon as Amarista saw that ball clear the shortstop's head, he was on his way to second. First and now second and third, and no one out in the top of the third.
Well, avoiding the strikeout and swinging aggressively early in the count is a big key for this Padre team. This pitch is right down the middle. You're not going to see this very often from Tim Hudson. Great effort by Crawford. And with that speed, he doesn't even break stride. Daddy long legs all the way in. The play there. And as you mentioned, Dick, Alexi Amarista, just need to look 90 feet ahead of you. It's open. Take it. Second and third.
So a grand opportunity for the Padres to grab the early lead. Hahn up, infield in at the corners, looking for a possible bunt, a safety squeeze, and a strike with Will Venable on deck. Hahn in his major league debut, as you know, against the Mets in New York, did loop a single behind first base for an RBI.
Well, look at the runners in scoring position for the Padres the last 6 games. 310 clip. They've driven in 16.
Giants infield up the middle, playing back, so anything by the pitcher would get a run home. No one on first, so they can't turn the routine double play for the 3rd straight inning.
Nice little game of pepper right here to the right side of the diamond. Get that run home.
1-2. Venable already going through his role. Should he come up there first and third with 1 out. Tried to get him to chase away. 2-2.
You see pitchers playing the game of pepper anymore? You don't see it, do you?
That used to be part of the game.
That's how you learn bat control and how to place the ball. Pepper is when you get about maybe 20-30 feet away from a guy with a bat. You just fire balls at him. You get 4 or 5 guys out in front of you and you hit them to each guy.
And he's caught looking, and that's the second strikeout for Hudson. And with 1 out, brings up Will Venable. See how the infield plays it with Venable, who was safe on the air by second baseman Panic his first time. Sandoval at third, stays bag high, and Morse maybe a step or 2 back of the bag at first base. Amarista at second, and Maben at third. 1 out.
Interesting to see how Hudson will pitch Venable here. Well, first base is open. You've got Cabrera waiting on deck, who hit into a double play earlier. Tim Hudson is just such master control that he's going to try to hit the corners here, maybe with an off-speed pitch, first pitch.
Fly ball hit well. Right field, that'll get a run home. Pence makes the catch. Maben scores. Amarista moves to third. It's 1-0 San Diego. Venable driving in his 13th run of the year.
And it was, in fact, a first pitch off-speed pitch, a changeup from Tim Hudson. And Will Venable, let's watch the swing. He gets it. He goes down and gets it out in front and sends it a long way. See how far out in front he gets there, out in front of his front thigh, and Hunter Pence goes way back. And also, seeing Pence the way he was playing it, Amarista tags up to go to third base.
2 outs, and Amarista 90 feet away from making it 2-0. Cabrera the hitter. 6-4-3 double play the first time. Jackknife bat. Ball 1. Amarista on his toes with a good lead in case that ball should skip away from Posey. Glenn Hoffman helping his runner there at third.
Only 2 wild pitches this year out of the hand of Tim Hudson. But still, Dick, you make a good point. You have to have that good secondary lead at third base.
Two 2-0. Cabrera. 2 hits last night. Struck out twice, 2 singles, scored twice, and knocked in a run with a single through the right side. Venable has driven in the first run of the game. 1-0 San Diego here in the third. Two-hopper to Panic at second. He throws out Cabrera. Padres get a couple of singles and score the first run of the game. It's 1-0 San Diego.
Start your weekend off with a blast. Friday, June 27th, Padres take on the Diamondbacks at 7:10. But the fun continues after the game. It's the Padres Summer Sky Blast, biggest fireworks show at Petco Park this season. Don't wait. Get your tickets today. Get online at Padres.com. Enjoy some fireworks downtown San Diego.
So that's coming up this weekend. Friday night, the fireworks. Saturday night, the Padre Fedora. And then Sunday, as always, Military Day. Construction out beyond AT&T Park. Those will be choice apartments, won't they?
Oh, yeah. Man, look at that view.
You get the right spot. There are some terrific views here. Jesse Hahn, 6 up, 6 down, 4 via strikeouts. Brandon Crawford leads it off for the Giants. 1-0 Padres. Day game tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 12:30. Fox Sports San Diego. Ian Kennedy on the mound for San Diego against Tim Lincecum, who is 5-5 for the Giants. 12:30 tomorrow. Off day Thursday, the Tony Gwynn tribute Thursday night at Petco. Arizona in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Looked like a changeup.
Absolutely right, Dick. Looks like Jesse Hahn is breaking it out tonight. Even talked to Darren Walsley, the pitching coach for the Padres, and Bud Black, the manager. They've said all along Jesse Hahn is pretty much a two-pitch pitcher. The two-seamer with the curveball, occasional four-seam once in a while. But he's breaking out the changeup tonight.
Curveball just a little low. Tough to lay off that pitch.
Especially when you throw it for a strike, right? For a called strike. There's Darren
Walsley. He's wearing that kind of I'm happy for what I'm seeing so far look.
Looks like a change up here.
Got him. 5 strikeouts. Jesse Hahn.
We've seen what Jesse Hahn features, and let's take a look at the curveball. We talked about it in our open. Watch this one. The dewdrop in, freezing Buster Posey. Take a hike. Pablo Sandoval, not even close, Panda. Back to the bamboo. And the changeup. Tyler Colvin's like, what? What was that?
Here's the rookie Joe Panic. Just called up this past few games. He takes the fastball for a strike. He was hitting .321 at Fresno. They really like this young 23-year-old from St. John's University in New York. Another strike with a fastball, 0-1-2. Oh, it's almost like watching Hahn build confidence with every pitch.
Yep.
Strike 3. Never got the bat off his shoulder. Looked like another changeup. 6 strikeouts now for Jesse Hahn. 6 of 8 outs.
Well, I think he's answered our question, Dick. You posed the question, remember, earlier? Boy, if he develops a changeup or throws a changeup, well, we've seen it firsthand here tonight. Uno, dos, adios to Joe Panic.
That brings up the pitcher, Tim Hudson. A couple of hits in 29 at-bats this year, but in his day, a good hitter. He chops at the third foul. At Auburn as a senior, Hudson not only had a 15-2 record as a pitcher, he hit .396 with 18 home runs. Now, how's that for a 1-2 punch?
Well, he's the best athlete on the team.
Because he went to Auburn?
No, just because he's the pitcher.
Oh, that's right. Why do I forget
that? That is a heck of a year, though. You're absolutely right.
Looked like a slider that time, didn't? Not the big curveball.
Yeah. Dick, you're right. That was a shorter breaking ball right there. That was, in fact, a slider.
He struck out 3 in a row. Is this 4 straight? Whoa! That one slipped out of his hands. He's had immaculate control, so that shocked everyone. Brought out some boos.
I think Yasmani Grandal told him before that pitch, hey, I want you to hit the bull. Just do what I say. Hit the bull. And, you know, luckily nobody likes to see a ball. That just got away from Jesse Hahn. Obviously no intent there.
And now 2-2.
That'll get a chuckle out of the Blaine Boyer on the left and Ian Kennedy. And Houston Street enjoying a cup of Joe here in the city by the bay.
Oh, now after that wild one high and inside, he's off the mark outside the next 2. So a full count. Well, they get a big kick out of something there. Boyer and Kennedy, Street, Stoltz. Behind home plate, Grandal runs out of room. It's an empty seat and bounces back out on the field of play.
That's a hang with him. Nobody took the initiative right there to charge that ball and get in front of it.
Get under it, huh?
Yeah.
Coming down on your noggin, though, it's easy to see the C part. Right field, Venable a long run into the bullpen of the Padres, makes the catch. 9 up, 9 down for Jesse Hahn. Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Sequan Casino. Real friendly, real close. By Jack in the Box. Head in for the new Jalapeno Ranch or Barbecue Ultimate Cheeseburgers. And by the Aramco Group. Purchase, refinance, reverse. Visit us at aramco.biz. Couple of strikeouts for Tim Hudson, but if this were Petco Park, you'd have 6 of them up there for Jesse Hahn. Tonight is Italian Heritage Night, celebrating here with the Giants.
Nice.
You see the Italian flag in the first K.
Yeah.
By colors of the flag. Seth Smith leads off the 4th inning. Took a 3rd strike his first time. Smith, then Headley and Grandal. Seth Smith leads the club in hits and runs scored. That's where he likes it, the red zones.
Yeah, down the middle, 14, and then middle and away. He likes to get extended with 14. But look at down and away. You know, generally speaking, a lot of left-handers, they like it down and in. We always talk about that, right? Drop the head down and in. Not the case for Seth Smith with only 1 knock down and in.
That's surprising.
Yes.
2 balls and a strike. Padres scoring in the 3rd on singles by Maben and Amarista leading off, and a sacrifice fly, Will Venable. Three and 1 to Smith, who leads and walks as well. 35 free tickets for him. Headley to follow. To play. Well, Italian Heritage Night, and you think about the San Francisco Italian community producing big leaguers. You start with the DiMaggios, Joe, Dominic, and Vince. Frankie Crosetti, Tony Lazzari. There was a pipeline from San Francisco to the New York Yankees. Ernie Lombardi from San Francisco, Hall of Famer.
Good little list right there, Professor.
All 4, and the leadoff man is on. Second walk from Tim Hudson.
Saturday, it's a full day of Major League Baseball action, beginning with the Rangers heading home to take on the Twins on Fox Sports 1. Then it's Baseball Night in America on Fox as the Red Sox, shocker, battle Derek Jeter and the Yankees. 2. Yadier Molina and the Cardinals, they're going to take on the Dodgers and the Yasiel Puig.
3.
The Braves, they're going to square up against the Phils, or the Nationals against the Cubs.
5.
Our MLB doubleheader begins Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports 1 and continues at 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox.
Boy, that's a baseball field day on Fox. And then that'll just whet your appetite for our Saturday night game at 6:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego. The Padres hosting Arizona.
The main course being Padre baseball on Fox Sports San Diego.
And even the dessert works there.
Well, the dessert is the Emmy Award-winning postgame show.
There you go. Headley walked his first time. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sharper breeze tonight.
Gosh, that looks like a good time, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? Well, that's why our colleagues on the San Francisco telecast, they want to be out closer to the bay, and they've forsaken their position in the booth next door. Wayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow. They're out in the right center field bleachers with their backs there way up. Keep going, and then there they are. They look real comfy, don't they?
There they are.
Kuiper on the left and the right-hander Krukow on the right. Don't they look like they're having fun?
It's cold out there.
They were moaning and groaning before the game tonight. 1 and 2 to Headley. Another off-speed delivery from Hudson. Smith at first. Lead-off walk here in the 4th. Padres 1, Giants nothing. Is this another double play? 3, 6, 3. Goodness. 4 innings and 3 double plays for the Giants. So 2 outs to Yasmani Grandal.
And you know that the Giant infielders have to be on their toes when Tim Hudson is on the hill. This looks like a split finger. Chase Headley out in front of it, even though it's elevated. But the big first baseman Morse fires a strike, and Crawford does such a fine job around the second base bag to fire it back to complete the double play.
Yasmani Grandal grounded into a 4-6-3 double play his first time up. There's that pitch to the screen the Padres are looking for in the last inning with Amarista at third. Grandal with 6 home runs. The Padre leader Seth Smith with 8. Smith now has finally tied Jed Jerko for the RBI lead with 24. Two and 0. And 3 balls, no strikes.
Boy, Hudson is just hot. He's so mad at himself after that last pitch, going 3-0.
Walked so few batters. He's already walked 2 tonight, and now 3-0 to Grandal.
Yeah, the most he's walked this year has been 3. That was 3 starts ago against the Mets.
That's a strike. 3-1. Jake Gobert would be next. First base tonight.
We talk about Tim Hudson and how he's evolved as a pitcher. Threw harder as he came up in Oakland Athletic, and look at through the years his career on the right, 62% of the time the fastball, and you go down to his off-speed stuff. But this year, look at more of the splitter right there, right? What's that tell you? Well, losing a little juice off the fastball, trying to fool the hitters, get them a little bit more out front, and utilizing that pitch 14% of the time, along with the fastball and the slider.
Strike 3 called. Grandal on his way to first base and does the U-turn when he hears Nora's call. Padres 1, Giants nothing.
AT&T Park, just behind the center field wall, is new area here at AT&T Park. It's the garden, just opened up this morning. Here they're growing all sorts of things. Pretty soon they'll have a kitchen where they'll use some of this food. Right now, though, they have a bar. They have some flat screen TVs out here. And let me tell you, they're growing everything. Blueberries, strawberries, tomatoes, lemons, even Mark Grant's favorite, they have kale out here. And Hunter Pence was here this morning to help kick it off. He's a big paleo guy, gets all of his green food while he's out on the road. So pretty cool out here. Some healthy food that they'll soon start selling at the kitchens down here, guys.
All right, Chris. Yeah, you get a little social sparkler and some kale. How about that?
Kale. Really, Chris Budden? Kale.
No asparagus?
I'm telling you, everything. Things I can't even pronounce.
I know, but
Yerba Buena is down here.
Yeah.
What's this? Oh, we got chives over here.
That is pretty cool, though, the way they have that set up there.
Basil, a little bit of
yeah.
everything. Tomatoes.
You know, Yerba Buena was the original name of the city of San Francisco.
You, Dick, you always one up, and you always know.
No, and it means the weed or
the what?
The greens.
What was the first thing you said?
Weed. Weeds. You know, vegetables,
right.
Greens, kale.
That's very cool.
Nothing like a garden, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Bottom of the fourth, leadoff man Gregor Blanco. That's a strike, but not called as he pulled away. Pretty good pitch. Blanco popped to short his first time. Just a little high. Line. First baseman Gobert, quick reactions. Hard to tell whether that bounced once or whether Gobert caught that just off the infield dirt.
Let's take a look. On the fly, on the line. Nicely done.
That's protecting the line.
Or, wait, he touched the bag. So did he just touch the bag? We didn't get the...
He was making sure, I guess.
That ball hit... Well, we understand that he caught it in the air, but he just touched first base, maybe because his momentum was going that way. Who knows?
Surprise, Hunter Pence swings at the first pitch. Let's look at his spray chart brought to you by Southwest Airlines.
Well, he likes to use the whole field. Predominantly to left field, 37, but I like that. Gap to gap, 28 hits and 26 to right.
There's the curveball, 0-2. Wide-eyed wonder at that curve. Snaps that one into right field, but that slicing foul down into the corner. Pence having a solid season, 301 average to lead the Giants. 11 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Last year, he had .283 with 27 homers and 99 runs batted in. Chases a high strike, 0-2. Originally picked in the second round 10 years ago by Houston. From Houston to Philadelphia to San Francisco. Oh, we got him backing out the batter's box from that curveball.
Now that is a sweet looking lid right there on that gentleman. That's almost Clint Eastwood like. As we take a look at Hunter Pence wants no part of it. He's back on his heels.
1-2. Reaches out and fouls it away. Out of the reach of Headley.
How about that swing
Totally
there?
fooled. Stays alive.
That's like Ichiro like from the right side. Look at this.
Venetian blind swing.
My goodness.
Lots of moving parts. But he's really good. He makes it work. Not pretty, but effective and productive.
Good fastball in here.
Fouled at the plate. Giants didn't give up an awful lot to acquire Pence a couple of years ago. Nate Scherholz, backup catcher Tommy Joseph, and a right-handed pitcher Seth Rosen. Reaches out and pops it up off a broken bat. Cabrera squeezes the second out. And here's Buster Posey. Not a good at bat for Pence, but he made contact. Posey struck out looking first time.
Yeah, Dick, when you throw a curveball to a right-handed hitter like that and he's backing out of the box on his heels, it's something special about that pitch.
Outside, ball one. Same spot. Cabrera with a good play behind second and throws him out. That ball was hit well, and Cabrera able to snare it as it was on its way to center field, and through 4 innings. Jesse Hahn yet to allow a base runner, thanks to Cabrera's defensive play. but he's had great support from his defense. 3 double plays, a couple of walks, and an error, all erased on double play balls.
Well, he's a pitcher that consistently works down to the zone and has his infielders work for him. Why? Because of the movement down on the 2-seamer and the split finger. And the Giant infielders know that. They are prepared, and they turned the double play nicely tonight. And when you talk about highest career ground ball percentage, Tim Hudson, of active Major League pitchers, he's right there at the top of the list.
True to form tonight. 1-0 Padres as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Jake Gobert leads it off. Gobert fly to center field in the 2nd inning. Maben and Amarista to follow. They collaborated on back-to-back singles, and that produced the first Padre run. Venable driving in the run with a sacrifice fly. Watch out.
Hey, how about Jago getting a good number? Number 4. You know, Nick Hundley wore that number, but you know, you get called up to the big leagues. That's to get a single digit. That's saying something. That's a good look too, right there. Good looking number.
Right field, and that's Pence has to play it on a hop. And Gobert has his 4th hit and 8 at bats since joining the club.
Nice looking swing right there by Jake Gobert and pulling Tim Hudson. Let's take a look. He loads on the back leg, gets extended nicely, drives with the lower half, and Hunter Pence no way to get that one. He'll make it interesting out there in right field. Hold all tickets, hold your breath.
Brings up Cameron Maben, shot a single through the right side his first time and scored the Padre run. He's had good luck against Hudson. I should say good success, not good luck. Nothing involved with luck in hitting a pitcher like Hudson.
Yeah.
Third hit off the veteran Hudson.
Oh, he just paints at the knees, doesn't he? 2-seam action, down in the zone. That's why Mark Sweeney talks about it all the time. When you have a pitcher like Tim Hudson on the mound, you have to force him to get a pitch up. And if you get that pitch up, you better be a hacking.
Right in the bottom of the strike zone.
Not just hacking, be a hacking.
Third baseman Sandoval throws it away. And getting up quickly is Gobert, and he's going to make it easily to third base. Morse, the first baseman, had to scramble to get the ball, and instead of another double play, and I don't think they're going to double up Maben anyway, and Sandoval making a very tough throw, angling in toward first and throwing back against his body, and that'll be an error charge to Sandoval.
Oh, catchable ball. And you know what? I think kind of panicked, and it was hearing footsteps. Don't you think? When you look at it, Gobert coming in, he was anticipating that runner coming in. Watch again. He kind of alligator arms this one. Panic does. It's a catchable ball. Well, is the guy coming in? I'm not going to go there. Gobert with the traditional slide in. Nicely done.
So the error is charged, as you surmised, to Panic, not to Sandoval. Padres first and third. No one out for Alexi Amarista. Singled up the middle his first time.
Did you see how Panic kind of reached for that? Yes. That's kind of like how Mike Pomerantz, when the check comes at dinner, he kind of
alligator arms
doesn't really extend to get it.
So Gobert, a single, moved to second on what would have been a fielder's choice, over to third on the error, charged to Panic.
Boy, what an opportunity for the Padres here.
Driven to right field, fair or foul, fair ball just inside the line. Gobert scores. Here comes Maben around third, and he will hold on a double off the bat of Alexi Amarista. 2-0 Padres. Alexi, a single and a double tonight.
Boy, the Padres taking advantage of some Tim Hudson mistakes. Look at this pitch. It's a cut fastball in, and we know how much Alexi loves to turn on the slider, the cutter in. How close? Just inside the line. That may have even touched the inside part of the line. Good at bat. Nice swing for his 6th double of the year for Alexei.
How did he keep that fair?
It's unbelievable. He gets his hands in, gets his hands through, and then the barrel follows. You get that angle of the bat to where you get it and keep it fair. You don't hook it. And he does a fine job at doing that.
So still no one out. A run home. Maben to third. Amarista to second. And Jesse Hahn, for the 2nd time of the game, comes up with runners at 2nd and 3rd and no one out. Struck out looking his last time. Will Venable, leadoff man on deck.
You know what? I wouldn't have any problem here with like a safety squeeze or something like that, or a push bunt to the right side.
Maben's got excellent speed. Let's see what Bud Black has in mind. Bad hack.
Yeah, maybe one free hack, right? And then see if Bud Black puts anything on here.
Infield tight. Well, that won't get Maben home. On out, 6-3. So, top of the order, Will Venable was 2nd and 3rd, one out. He was up in the same situation in the 3rd, delivered a sacrifice fly to fairly deep right field. Safe on an error, his other at bat. 2 big runs out there. That would make it 4 and score 4. And you do well, San Diego. 25 and 4 this year when you score 4 runs. Infield stays in. Ground ball stopped by Morse. No play at home. The put out 3-1, and it's 3-0 as Venable drives in another run on the 3-1 put out. Amarista goes to 3rd on the play, and Maben, an unearned run, scores from 3rd.
And Will Venable putting the ball play in early, getting that pitch up. It's hit on the ground, but Michael Morse, for the size of this kid, he does a fine job over there. Probably won't win a Gold Glove, but very serviceable over there, putting that big body in motion and preventing that ball and preventing a run.
That's a tough play, playing in shallow, and uses that long range of his to snare it. But the Padres have 2 more here in the 5th to lead 3-0. Amarista stands at 3rd for Everth Cabrera.
If you're Tim Hudson, every time you cover first base like that, it's got to be in the back of his mind. How about that injury he had with Atlanta that snapped his ankle? But you know what? Part of the deal is getting back up on that horse and making that play and not even thinking twice about it.
That was really ugly. Time called, and Posey goes out to chat with Hudson.
8:26 p.m. Time was called. He wanted time, so I gave it to him.
Okay. Give. That's all you do.
What a beautiful night. Even though it's windy and it's on the cool side, I'll take it.
Wind really whipping the flags, pointing out toward left field. Should Adable hit high to left. 1-0 to Cabrera. Big hole up the middle of the diamond. Amarista at 3rd, 2 gone, 2 in. 1 earned and 1 unearned. Any other runs will be unearned. A catching error by Panic at second base. 1 ball, 1 strike. Amarista having himself quite a night, a single and an RBI double. Ball, 2 strikes. 3-0 Padres, top of the 5th. 2 gone. Amarista at third for Cabrera. Waited on that pitch, trying to shoot it to left field. Seth Smith waiting his turn. Should Cabrera keep it going?
Well, 1-2 count. You might see Hudson try to go with that split finger fastball and go for that strikeout. Kind of all over the map as our Fox Tracks, brought to you by Southland Technology, shows you up and away, down and in from Hudson.
Hit well, but to Pence in right field. Oh, he had trouble in the lights there, able to pick it off. Cabrera lines out. Padres get 2 runs, 1 unearned, and lead 3-0. We're at the halfway mark in this one. The error by the second baseman, Panic, critical. Amarista with a double, the big hit into the right field corner. 3-0 San Diego. Catch an all-new episode of SD Live. We'll be counting down to opening day at Del Mar, featuring special guest, President and CEO of Del Mar Thoroughbred Club, Joe Harper, President of the Breeders' Cup, Craig Travel, tonight after Padres Live on Fox Sports San Diego. And there's some very big news, thoroughbred racing news, that involves the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club for an upcoming Breeders' Cup. My, oh my. Bottom of the 5th, Pablo Sandoval struck out swinging the first time. Back to the mound, caromed off the leg of the pitcher Hahn, and there's the first base hit of the game for the Giants. It hit the leg of Hahn, caromed to Amarista, but his momentum was carrying him away from first base, and no chance to get his feet under him and make a good throw. So Sandoval, after 12 straight outs recorded by Hahn, has the infield hit.
Well, he got his ground ball, but there's nothing you can do controlling that baseball. Once it hits the bat, Jesse Hahn, a good fielding position off the leg, as you mentioned, Dick. And now you're thinking maybe Alexi might make it, but hey, after this play is thrown towards the home plate side, look at Yasmani Grandal. He is busting his tail out from back of home plate. He is going over by the Padre dugout to back this one up. Sandoval ran through the bag. If he makes that little movement towards second base, he's live bait, but he did not, and he is aboard with an infield single. Hey, nice dive right there by Gobert, huh? Trying to catch that one.
That brings up Michael Morse. Morse a long out to right field. Shoots that one deep into the right field corner, almost to the wall.
That ball was smoked. You know, as soon as he hit that ball, I didn't think it was hit as hard as it was, but that ball went a long way.
Having a good year against Padre pitching, 350 with a home run. Infield looking for a double play, like to return the favor to the Giants. Oh, and 2.
Oh, a nice two-seamer from Jesse Hahn.
Morse has hit into 10 double plays, more than any Giant.
Check out the two-seamer. Get on top of it and spin it. That ball down and in.
First base runner for the Giants. Broken bat, looper into right field for a base hit. That'll get Sandoval all the way to third. And the Giants have something going here in the 5th inning. Infield hit and a broken bat single.
Michael Morse is big and Michael Morse is strong. And when you elevate a fastball, try to get it in, you better get it way in or way up and in, because look, this pitch is up. He'll break his bat down by the label, but because it's elevated, it's a little duck snort over the first baseman, Jake Gobert, and the Giants got a little action going here. And Sandoval doesn't even break stride.
Fast fielding by Venable held Morse to a single. That brings up Tyler Colvin. Colvin struck out swinging the first time. Infield back. Traded out for a run. They get the out at first base, 4-3. Sandoval scores, and the Padre lead cut to 3-1. Morse moves into second base. Credit Colvin with his 15th RBI.
Jesse Hahn is missing the sweet spots. This one's off the end of the bat. Colvin rolls it over.
Not hit hard enough for a double play.
And charging the ball and catching it, no way. You know, you got to get the out. You don't want to prevent a big inning. You have to get the sure out. That's exactly what Alexi did.
So none of the balls hit well here in the inning. But a run for the Giants, 3-1, and they have a man in scoring position for Brandon Crawford. He struck out swinging his only at bat. There's that two-seamer, ball 1. Crawford has made himself into a pretty good hitter. Looks like he'd be about a .230 hitting shortstop. Each year improving. Inside 2-0. After Crawford, rookie Joe Panik. Hahn having to pitch from the stretch for the first time in the game this inning. Oh, that curveball halfway up there looks like it's going to be high. Yep. Bam, snaps in the strike zone.
But the big key, how about this? 2-0. 2-0. Throwing a big curveball for a called strike. That's doing something right. That's confidence in the old number 2. Dropping the deuce when you're behind in the count.
Morse at second base, 1 out. Swing and a miss.
Another dewdrop in.
2-2.
Yeah, I noticed last night Michael Morse, he's got the old shiny arm on that left arm. I don't know what that is, but
he's also got that protective wrist wrap. 2-2. Struck him out. Came back with a fastball. 7 strikeouts for Hahn.
Well, Jesse Hahn reaching back for a little extra on the fastball up and out of the zone to Brandon Crawford.
Two-seamer, huh?
Yeah, good movement up and away.
Panik took a third strike, 3 pitches, and never got the bat off his shoulders the first time up.
See, these are the situations where it's really a pleasure to watch Jesse Hahn try to work out of and mature into a big league pitcher quickly.
There's the hook.
Well, hasn't been hit hard this inning, right? Infield hit, single.
Loop single.
Right, 1 run scored, but yet reaching back, making a good pitch to Colvin. Reaching back, two-seamer to get Crawford.
Another curve. 0-2.
Oh, he's got the feel down. He's got the old number 2 working.
Danik would like to atone for that error that caused 2. They're both unearned runs in the top half of the inning. Official score, both unearned. And he changes the eye level with a fastball up and away. Just off the edge, 2-2. Change up.
Yep. Good pitch.
First base open. The pitcher is next. And he wouldn't bite on the curveball. Full count. You can hear the wind whipping through our microphones, blowing sharply from right to left. Ball 4. He had him 0-2. And that is the first walk of the game given up by Jesse Hahn. First and second. And Tim Hudson. You have to respect him as a hitter. Hadn't done much this year. 2 for 30. Fouled out to right field, remember, the first time. Right. Contact. Headley comes in from third. And catcher Grandal. Little pep talk, steady the right-hander. Don't get careless here with Hudson. Morse at second, Tanik at first. 2 outs and a run in here in the Giants' 5th inning. Outfield playing way over toward right field. Don't expect Hudson to pull. On the outside corner. Big hole left center as Maben shading over into right center. Got a call. Curveball in there. No doubt about that one. 0-2. What do you throw him here?
I say another curveball. That's just my gut feeling.
Speeds up his bat, though.
They're located down and away here.
Lifts that foul off first and out of play. Was a curve.
First sign after 2, if that's the sequence here. Fastball in. Well, fastball away.
Ground ball to second. And Marista over to first for the out. Good pitching by Hahn. Finally in trouble. Although not well hit balls at all by the Giants. They do get a run. It's 3-1. And Seth Smith will lead it off for the Padres in the 6th inning with Headley and Grandal to follow. back of San Francisco. They were 9.5 off the pace June 8th, and they're making up ground on the Giants. And of course tonight, looking at the scoreboard, hoping the Padres can hand San Francisco another loss. Seth Smith struck out and walked tonight. Ball 1. Smith followed by Headley and Grandal in the Padres 6th inning. 3-1 for the visitors. Not a shift, but the second baseman Panic is way out in shallow right field. Crawford still on the shortstop side. Now he's moving over, and now the shift with the count 1-1. Sandoval moving into the shortstop position, closer to second than third. Wonder why they didn't do that right off the bat.
Maybe because the count, even in the count, maybe the count dictates where Bruce Bochy wants to put him, what Hudson's going to be throwing him. Just a thought, you know. Maybe some off-speed pitches like that one, enabling Smith to maybe pull the ball. That was a curveball. It'd be interesting to see if he throws another breaking ball here, Dick. You know, like you said, speed up his bat. So if he hits the ball on the ground, you have 3 infielders on the right side. Just a thought.
And he goes to left field for a base hit. Smith beats the shift, goes the opposite way, and the Padres again have the leadoff man on. They have had the leadoff man on every inning of the game, all 6.
Now that was Purdy right there, and it looked like a changeup, Mark Sweeney.
That brings up Chase Headley. He's walked and grounded into a double play, and he goes to left field for a base hit. So first and second as Smith and Headley use the same avenue for line singles. That'll bring up Yasmani Grandal.
Nice job by Chase. And Mark Sweeney in San Diego, you know, one thing we've noticed, and I made a point earlier, got to get the pitches up from Hudson and take advantage of it. And it looks like that's exactly what the Padre hitters have been doing tonight.
Yasmani Grandal has grounded into a double play and took a third strike. 2 men on, no one out.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? It's very frustrating for a pitcher, too, when they start going the other way, when you have the shift or position a certain way. And you beat that shift. You betcha.
A ball and a strike to Grandal. Infield looking for the 4th double play of the game. Giants have 3. Grandal trying to take advantage of 3-1 Padre lead. High fly ball hit well to center field. Wynn's got it, still going, and it's off the base of the wall. The runners had to hold, and believe it or not, there's going to be a play at the plate, and this is going to be an out. Oh my. Smith thought the ball was going to be caught, so he was hugging near second base. So by the time he saw it land over the head of Blanco, he just had a slow start, and a perfect relay guns him down at the plate. After it's all over, Headley winds up at third, and Grandal with a double at second.
Well, the second ball this series that Grandal has hit very, very sharply. And as you said, Dick, Smith, he gets hung up there. He went back to tag. The ball is hot, and nice relay, perfectly executed. Buster Posey giving the runner the lane, and then he gets the ball, and then he goes on the foul side of home plate to tag him. Seth Smith doesn't even get close to home plate.
They're going to rule that a single. He goes to second on the throw. So 3 straight singles, and now hit batsman as Gobert is struck, and the bases are loaded. Jeremy Affeldt now the first activity in the bullpen for the Giants. The left-hander tuning up.
Here's what Seth Smith was doing. He was kind of caught in between. Actually, he did not go back and tag after second look.
But all his momentum was towards second.
Right.
Perfect relay. 8-6-2. Gobert with a single and 2 at bats and now a hit batsman. So they're loaded up for the Padres. And the hitter is Cameron Maybin, who has scored 2 of the 3 runs. So Smith a single to left, Headley a single to left, and Grandal got that ball airborne. You saw how the wind carried it.
Yep.
But a tough read for Smith, who thought it was going to be caught and couldn't score on the play.
Mark Sweeney in San Diego, did you see anything on that particular play?
So Maybin with the bases loaded. 1 out. And 1 strike on Cameron. Single to right field and scored in the 3rd. Safe on the fielder choice. Error 4. Error on second baseman Panic in the 5th and scored. Chance to give the Padres a sizable lead. 3-1 here in the 6th. High chopper. And the throw to first, not in time. Maybin with an infield hit. It's 4-1. Yeah, with his speed, you bounce it off that home plate and get the kangaroo bounce. And Maybin flying up the line. An infield hit RBI and a 4-1 lead for the Padres. Still bases loaded with 1 out.
Well, nothing Brandon Crawford could do right there. He does everything he can here because he charges bare hand. Well, I tell you what, the speed of Maybin is something else because he realized that he's hitting this towards Crawford and he's a darn good shortstop. Just beats it out. Crawford did everything perfectly on that play.
Here's Amarista. He's the hitting star so far tonight. A single and an RBI double. Bases loaded. 1 out. Ground ball into right field. Another hit for Amarista. Pence up with the ball in a hurry. Going to be a play at the plate. And save on the dive goes Gobert. And the Padres get 2 more. It's 6-1 as Amarista 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Little ninja strikes at AT&T.
Boy, the Padre hitters are really capitalizing on 2 seamers down the middle of the plate, and you can hear that one hit sharply through the hole on the ground, and then the race is on. Hunter Pence has got an above-average arm there on line as well, but a nice slide towards the foul side of home plate. Brian O'Nora is all over it. Nicely done. Good slide. Padres adding on.
Maybin goes to 3rd on the play, and on the throw to home plate, Amarista winds up at 2nd, and here's Hahn. It's the 3rd time he's been up with less than 2 outs and runners at 2nd and 3rd. A 3 home here in the 6th. The Padres scored in 3s last night. 3 in the 4th, 3 in the 8th to win it 6-0. 4 or more runs, 25 and 4 the record. One and 1 to Hahn. Hudson stays in there, even though Affeldt, the left-hander in the bullpen, is more than warmed. Hahn checking on the signs to see whether or not that safety squeeze might be on. One and 2. Did ground the ball to shortstop the last time, but with the infield playing in, unable to get the run home from 3rd. Maybin at 3rd, Amarista at 2nd. 1 out and 3 runs home here in the 6th, and 1 runner thrown out at the plate. Weak wave and a miss. Strike 3.
You know, Mark Sweeney, Jesse Hahn has been up to the plate. That's the 5th and 6th runner left on base. So, you know, quite frankly, there's no room for that. He's got to drive in those runs.
After all, he is the best athlete on the field, as you pointed out. Pitching change. That'll be all for the veteran Tim Hudson, who has been unbeatable at AT&T this year. 7 starts. The Giants have won all 7, but he leaves the game down 6-1. Runners at second and third with a pitching change. Subway in-game box score. And when you get to Amarista's name, you're seeing the man who's done the most damage. 3 for 3 down there in the 8th hole. Couple of singles, knocked in 3. Maben in front of him with 2 singles, an RBI, and he scored twice. 9 hits total for the Padres. And here in the inning, Smith single, Headley single, Grandal, a potential double, singled off the left center field wall. On the play, Smith thrown out at the plate. Then Gobert hit by a pitch. Maben drove in a run with an infield hit. Amarista drove in 2 more with a single to right field. And a rough night for Tim Hudson.
Hey, the Padres just knocked out one heck of a pitcher, especially pitching here at home. So enter left-hander Jeremy Affeldt. Prior to this outing, he's inherited 10 runners. 3 have scored. Chalked 2 more up. Inherited runners for Jeremy Affeldt.
Will Venable, the hitter. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. Maben at third and Amarista at second. Chopped to the mound. Affeldt better hurry, and he does get Venable by a stride. 8 men come to bat for the Padres in the top of the 6th inning. They score 3 on 5 hits and lead 6-1, led by the Little Ninja. 3 RBI night. entered the game with the 6th best ERA in the National League, 2.39. And Amarista alone has knocked in 3 runs on a 3-for-3 night. As we promised you earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo for you. Tweet your photo to hashtag SD fan photo and a chance to be shown in an upcoming telecast brought to you by AT&T. And in the spirit of Tony Gwynn, we thank you for your photo. Don't forget Thursday night, 7:19, the program at Petco Park. Gates will open at 5:30. No admission, parking free. Memorial and tribute to the life of Tony Gwynn. Well, Jesse Hahn handed a 5-run lead now as he goes to work in the 6th inning. He'll face Blanco, Pence, and Posey. He has struck out 7 men and walked only 1, allowing 2 scratch hits in the 5th inning for the 1 Giants run.
You know what you like about this game? I mean, last night's game was great. The whitewash of the Giants, 6-0. Despaigne twirling the gem on his major league debut, but for the youngster Hahn, he's got some room for error. He leads by 5 as we go late into the game. 6-1 Padres.
Blanco has popped up and lined to first. Hitting .325 the last 25 games. Blanco had a double in 4 trips last night. There's that curveball, bends over the outside corner. Ground ball left side. Tough play for Cabrera. Quick throw, not in time. Blanco runs too well. Another infield hit. So all 3 hits, a scratch variety off Jesse Hahn. 2 infield hits and a bloop single.
I think Everett Cabrera does everything he can on this play. He rounds it the perfect route. That glove on the left side of his body, and then Gobert, he picks it, but Blanco beats it out. Nothing he can do there. Nice play by Jake.
Brings up Hunter Pence. Pence has struck out and popped to short. Let's see if he swings at the first pitch. That's his MO. Both times tonight and last night the same. And he takes a fastball right down the middle. For 2 tonight to dip him below the 300 mark. Curveball inside.
Well, Mark Sweeney in San Diego. One of the things I like about Jesse Hahn, stressful innings, he tends to get out of them, but I like to see his aggressiveness even with the 5-run lead. What do you think? That changeup's been a good pitch tonight, no doubt.
1-2 now to Pence with Posey up next for the Giants here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
You know, I think he even threw a slider tonight as well. Remember, Tim Hudson was up there tonight. He threw a little wrinkle to the Giant right-hander.
Check at Blanco. Blanco has 7 steals.
And according to my count, that was the 80th toss. 80 for Jesse Hahn. 56 strikes, 24 balls.
No one throwing in the bullpen. Facing the big boys here in the 6th is Hahn. Got him. Another breaking ball, and it is a beauty. 8 strikeouts for Jesse Hahn. Coming into the game in his previous outings, 14 strikeouts in the last 2 games, and that's in 13 innings.
Boy, he gets great spin, great rotation on that pitch, gets on top of it, and just pulls it hard as he can. Beautiful pitch.
Posey took a 3rd strike. A good play by Cabrera at shortstop to throw him out the last time. Ranging behind second base.
Well, Mark Sweeney, you know what? Jesse Hahn has proven he can throw that curveball for a strike, and that's why you see a lot of hitters offering after that pitch, right? Yep, just like that one there. Hey! One of the ball dudes.
Home plate out in the warm-up area got him. Ball dudes. It's a nice thing they do here. They have veteran campaigners that occupy the area down in the left field and right field corner. And, you know, that front edge of home plate will get you every time.
Yeah. That's Mr. Russ Colombo down there, the third base ball dude.
62 years young from San Rafael. And down the right field line, we got 81-year-old Joe Martino.
Oh, just wait, Joe. The baseball gods are going to get you. You're laughing at your buddy on the third base side? Okay. We'll remember that.
2 balls and a strike to Posey. Another curveball and another swing and a miss. Well, Italian Heritage Night. Fans had ceremony before the game. It's a city of so many cultures. And those are the 4 strikeouts of Tim Hudson. Colors of Italia. Line drive left field. That's a base hit. Tried to sneak the fastball in there. Blanco around second. He's going to come home as Posey has doubled it 6-2. Number 37 RBI for Posey. And that gets the bullpen busy for the Padres.
Well, remember earlier we talked about Buster Posey and where he likes to swing and get his hits. Fastball, curveball. Now watch. There's the curveball right out in front. Talk about spinning on a fastball in. And remember the hits we showed, hot zones? Where was the most hits for Buster Posey?
That's right where
down and in, and he could spin on it, and it's exactly what he does there to drive in that run for the Giants.
Even though it wasn't a strike, he nailed the line drive double. So still only 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Pablo Sandoval. Alex Torres the lefty, and Kevin Quackenbush get ready in the Padre pen. Swing and a miss. Late swing. Sandoval has struck out and safe on an infield hit, scored the first Giant run.
I love to see battles like this, guys. Especially 3rd time around in the order for Sandoval against the rookie Jesse Hahn, runner in scoring position. See what types of pitches Hahn throws Sandoval here to try to get out of this mess.
Good pitch. Low strike. Sandoval thought it was out of the strike zone.
Mark Sweeney back in San Diego. Are you griping at this call right here if you're hitting?
It was just at the bottom of the strike zone. If it touches that lower line, it's a strike by rule. Out of play.
That was by design there. Jesse Hahn does a great job. Yasmani Grandal put the glove up there. He gave the high target, and that's exactly where Jesse threw it.
Good play made by one of the fans in the second deck behind home plate. And I think it's a police officer that makes the catch. Look at that. Hey, sign him up. Give him a contract.
Nice. Hug a cop. I said it. Hug a cop.
0-2, Sandoval. Popped up. behind home plate, but that's going to be out of the reach of Grandal, back about 6-7 rows. And Sandoval's still alive. A look at the NL West standings brought to you by San Diego Union Tribune. Dodgers have won, so currently 3.5 back. They move to 3 behind the Giants should the Padres win. Colorado 11, San Diego 12.5, Arizona 14.5 out in the West. Padres only a game and a half behind Colorado for 3rd place.
High fastball again.
Line to Amarista, no chance for the double play as Posey saw the line drive and made sure that he wasn't doubled off second. Broken bat line drive out, 2 away. And that'll bring up Michael Morse, who is fly deep to right and sent a soft single over the head of Gobert into right field his last time. Leads the team in home runs, 13, and runs batted in, 44. What do we got here?
Well, we've got some coffee or some hot chocolate. You get the whipped cream out there if you'd like.
Oh, you got to have the whipped cream, don't you?
I agree.
Giardelli's in for a strike. 92 pitches now for Hahn.
Outfield playing deep and to go the other way against Michael Morse.
Posey at second, 6-2. Padres lead. Another curveball strike, 0-2. Morse covers the plate so well with that big swing, doesn't it?
He sure does.
Threw him another. Might have been a change even. That was a quick. So 1-2 to Michael Morse.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, they got the whipped cream already in there. Is that maybe a little marshmallow? Whipped marshmallow?
Kind of looked like that, didn't it? Whatever it was, it looked good.
Right field, and Venable makes the catch. A line drive, and Venable, we've seen him time and time again able to charge that ball and grab it right off the top of the grass. And that's it for the Giants in the 6th. They get a run on a couple of hits. On to the 7th. The Padres lead by 4. Oh, tough to simulate those line drive outs. Lead. This is our Nissan game summary. First run scored on Will Venable sacrifice fly. Padres, Lexi Amarista has been a hitting machine. 3 hits. He delivers a big base hit there in the fourth inning actually. Cameron Maben, an infield hit that scored a run. Amarista again, a 2-run single through the hole into right field. Amarista, a single, a double, and a single has knocked in 3 runs. And the Padres, Derek Tim Hudson with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Jesse Hahn, meanwhile, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, striking out 8. Hudson roughed up a bit for him, 6 runs in 5 2/3, 9 hits. Amarista hitting star, and Maben with a couple of hits as well. So the 7 and 8 positions in the batting order for Bud Black tonight have produced 5 hits, knocked in 4, and scored 2. Cabrera 0 for 3. Double play, grounded to second and line to right. Batting right-handed for the first time against Jeremy Affeldt. Cabrera, Smith, and Headley for the Padres in the top of the 7th. Padres, this is their 12th series on the road this year. They've won only 2, so they've got a chance with a victory tonight to get a big scalp. After winning last night 6-0, they have a 6-2 lead this evening. First baseman Morse, good play, 1 away, 1 out on 1 pitch.
He's kind of nimble over there for first base, huh? Michael Morse.
So mostly as an outfielder when he was with Washington. Smith struck out, walked, and singled. Late breaking curveball catches the inside corner. No shift. Smith beat the shift last time with a line drive to left. Alex Torres with that protective cap. Ground ball. Another play for Morse. Same result. First baseman unassisted. 2 away. So a reminder that Scott Miller, Fox Sports San Diego Major League Baseball insider, has a interesting article. Had a chance to peruse it today. Facing a pivotal point are the Padres in franchise history, and he talks about the general manager change and the possible candidates to replace Josh Burns as the GM of the Padres. Good reading for you. And in fact, it's posted already if you want to take a look.
Scotty Miller does great work. He's a good egg. And we're fortunate to have him here on Fox Sports San Diego. Love Scott Miller.
Headley batting right-handed. There's the big curveball. A walk, double play, and a single for Headley batting from the left side as he returns to the lineup with that aching back. Broken bat roller to short. Crawford up with it. And a 1-2-3 inning for Jeremy Affeldt on 3 ground ball outs. Stretch half of the 7th in San Francisco. Padres with a 4-run lead.
that they were trying to protect for sure is the temple area, this part of the head, and they've put a couple of protective plates on the inside of this hat. Okay, that's going to protect the main blow, and then it's got a thickness of padding in here as well.
Alex Torres again wearing that protective hat. He was the first pitcher in baseball to wear it. He says he wanted to do it because after watching a teammate last year with the Rays, Alex Cobb, get hit in the head, he had to go in for relief after him. He said it really shook him up, and because of that, he wanted to go out there. He says whatever he can do to help stay safe.
All right, Chris, that was Todd Hutchinson, the head trainer of the Padres, with the explanation. And Torres making national headlines. Newspapers and television around the country being the first to wear that protective cap.
And as Torres enters the game, this pitching change is brought to you by Drew Ford. A pretty good ERA. Opponent's batting average only .206, but at times you can get a manager and a pitching coach on the edge of their seat, at times getting wild. 17 free passes in 30 frames for Alex.
That's too many. But he's pitched well, and he was the left-hander the Padres needed in the offseason to fortify the bullpen. Faces Tyler Colvin and throws a strike. Colvin has struck out and knocked in a run with a ground out. Jesse Hahn, 6 innings, 2 runs, only 4 hits, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. That's 3 straight sterling performances by Jesse Hahn.
Tell you what, that is a great night in the big leagues for Jesse Hahn.
Think what he's done. That win in New York goes 6 innings, no runs. Then goes 7 innings in Seattle, no earned runs. 1 run, but it was unearned. And now 2 runs tonight, 3 in a row. What a blessing.
We saw Dale Thayer in the Padre bullpen. Javier Lopez, the lefty for the Giants, in their bullpen.
Up and away, 1-2.
Hey, and regarding the hat, as we take a look at Lopez for Torres, you know, it's all about safety, right? Who cares about the looks? If you know, pitchers get hit with line drives all the time, and you want to be protected as much as you can.
You can see that padding over the temple. Foul tip. The tendency with the ball coming back at you is to, your reflex is to turn your head. And the evolution of that protective cap, I'm sure they'll make it look more chic.
Sure.
Looks clumsy now, but if it does the job, that's all that matters. 2-2 now.
Hey, he's a trailblazer. He is a pioneer.
He's
Alex
the
Torres.
Jacques Plante of baseball.
Yeah.
First man to wear a hockey mask. First goalie in the NHL to wear a mask. Common equipment now. 2-2. Struck him out. Change up. Time for the Saquon Casino Daycation stat of the game. Let's go to Jesse Hahn, the 24-year-old right-hander. 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. So far this season, 27 punch-outs and 22 2/3 innings pitched.
He is fitting right in. He's being aggressive with all of his pitches, and as Bud Black said before the game today, he loves that Jesse Hahn will throw that curveball. He'll throw that changeup we saw tonight and the fastball at any time in the count, and he was proving that tonight against these Giants.
Brandon Crawford takes ball 1. Crawford struck out both times against Hahn. 1 out, bases empty here in the Giants' 7th. Padres with a 3-run 6th inning to build a 6-1 lead. The Giants got 1 back. 6-2 is where we stand here in the 7th.
You know, another big key here, Dick, right? You would agree with me, to keep this crowd out of the game too, right?
That's been accomplished last night and again tonight.
Yep. You keep the Giants' bats quiet. You keep this crowd quiet. Because I tell you what, this is a home field advantage here. It's playoff atmosphere every night. They pack the place. A lot of black and orange.
They lead the majors, or among the leaders, and come from behind wins, because these fans don't give up when they are down. Keep them quiet. 1-2.
You know, I thought they really missed big time here in San Francisco for the naming rights of this ballpark. Ralph Lauren should have called, right? Put the naming rights on this place and called it the Polo Grounds.
Polo Grounds West, huh?
Yeah.
Ground ball to first. Going to be a tough play. And safe is the call. Gobert, an awkward throw to Torres as he lobbed the throw, and it was very close. In fact, Bud Black not convinced that the man was safe. Crawford hustling up the line. Umpire Adam Hamari. You see Bud positions himself, so he's looking back at the Padre dugout to get the tip. But that's a tough toss by Gobert. Yeah, he's got him.
Oh yeah, I thought he got the outside
corner of the bag.
Yeah. This will give us a good look here.
Yeah, not a good look. Does he get it with the heel on the corner of the bag? If he does, it's with the heel. Well, you can't tell, can you? It's not enough evidence there to overturn the call.
Yeah.
But after last night, anything can happen.
Yeah, and you know what? Just looking at, we have the luxury of those replays, and just looking at that, I did not see the bag move as Torres's foot came down, because that bag is going to give a little bit. And I didn't see any give.
Little wrinkle, yeah. You should get a little.
Right.
If you weren't with us last night, the reference was to the fact that Grandal hit the ball off the top of the wall in deep right center field, and they reviewed it and claimed that there was a ground rule double, and the runner from first that scored should go back to third.
Oh, that's a tough one right there.
Yeah, I don't. Now they may have other angles back in New York that
right.
See the play from. You almost need to see the play from left field. Hard to believe he didn't get a piece of the bag. So we're one out into the seventh inning. Crawford has been ruled safe on that ground ball wide of first. Umpire in chief Brian Onora on the right. We need to get John Williams to compose some music for challenge replays, don't you think?
He'd be the first guy I'd think of, no doubt about it.
Something like the Olympic theme.
Yeah. Kind of like you don't want to rip off the Jeopardy theme, right?
So they couldn't find evidence to overturn it. The call stands as safe.
You know what? I think he whiffed.
It was a tough throw from Gobert.
Yeah, it was.
2 minutes and 45 seconds. We find out that he was indeed safe. I'm going to need some more convincing to really believe in this whole replay process, challenge process.
Yeah.
I just let the air out of the balloon. You know, he killed the drama. There's no emotion.
I'll second that emotion.
Thank you. So this is what's happened so far. There have been 486 challenges, and the success rate, in other words, they've overturned the call 51% of the time when the manager challenges. 0-2 the count now to Joe Panik. The point is, they're not going to get them all right.
Right.
And sometimes they overturn, sometimes it isn't, sometimes there's not enough evidence. But in the meantime, a lot of delays of the game. And they're not those good old arguments between players and managers with umpires that we used to enjoy. So 2 strikes to Panik. Just wide. Alex Torres, 1-2 the count on the rookie panic. Pitcher spot due next. Late swing. Save curiosity. Let's take that hat or cap off Torres and look inside. And that's what you'll see.
You remember Todd Hutchison, the trainer, was talking about the temple area, right? I mean, that's probably the most important. And you can see the thickness of that. And you know what? It's going to take some getting used to, obviously, to look at. But, you know, for Alex Torres, being out there on the mound and having a bulky lid like that after so many years of wearing a traditional baseball cap.
1-2. Oh, what a play by the second baseman Amarista to get one. They might have been able to turn the double play, but Amarista gets the sure out as he took that one right out of center field. What a night for Alexi. Safe on the fielder's choice is Panic. And Brandon Hicks is going to enter the game as the pinch hitter for the pitcher Offeld.
Short hop by Alexi, taking it away, but couldn't find the handle. Oh, what a beautiful play. On the transfer, lost the handle.
So 2 outs. And with the introduction of the right-handed hitting Hicks, enter right hitter Dale Thayer. We'll be right back. Dale Thayer makes an appearance with 2 outs, and Brandon Hicks, the pinch hitter for San Francisco here in the 7th inning, as we revisit the keys to the game, brought to you by your Honda dealers of San Diego County.
Well, the 4 runs for Hans. 6 runs scored tonight. 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. The Padres added on and hop on Hudson, and the Padres did just that. Look at that, Dick. 8 singles, a double, a couple of walks, 6 runs against a guy who's been pitching well here in San Francisco this year, undefeated.
How about you? You're undefeated these 2 games. The magic potion. You're right on with your keys to the game. Hey, take a bow. Come on.
I appreciate that.
Don't be so modest. Brandon Hicks has given the Giants some long ball. His average down to 171, but he's clubbed 8 home runs, most of those in April and early May. Homered against the Padres up here, first visit. Don't want to make a mistake. 2-0 Thayer. Out of play. Workhorse Thayer making his 36th appearance of the season. He leads the team in most games pitched. Benoit and Torres behind him. Torres 32. and 3-1. Got a man at first. 6-2 game. You want to give the Giants an extra base runner. Top of the lineup following hits. Panic at first. Ooh, got a good pitch there. 3-2.
And this is where Dale Thayer as a pitcher try to just pound that strike zone. Have him earn his way on. He's got to remember he's coming off the bench here. Dale Thayer is about 92, 93 on that fastball. With a little bit of movement, tough to square up. Keep the ball away from him. Outer third, take your chances that way.
Runner goes. Strike 3 call. Hicks caught looking, and that's it for the Giants in the 7th. Thayer gets the final out. It's still 6-2 Padres. Yeah. You're going to be there opening day, aren't you, Mike? As Lopez comes in to work here in the top of the 8th inning, Grandal turns it around, batting right-handed. I think Fox Sports San Diego is going to be there for opening day as they were last year.
Yeah.
Remember, Pomerantz came back in a Brinks truck. He hit so many daily doubles and exactas and trifectas and superfectas.
You love the ponies, don't you, Professor?
I love going to the track. Joe Harper runs a great show out there at Del Mar. 1-1 to Grandal. Grandal hit into a double play, struck out, and then singled off the wall in deep left center field. Only a single because runners had to hold to make sure that Blanco didn't catch the ball.
Pretty good numbers right there for Lopez.
One's going to sail down in the bullpen area of the Padres and back into the crowd. Well, the winds have swirled, and now some of the flags pointing out toward center field. They were predominantly starts toward left.
And as more and more people enter the Seagulls.
Fly ball into right field. Pence is there for the first down. Brings up Jake Gobert. He has a single. Flied out and was hit by a pitch, and Tommy Medica's going to bat for him. But Gobert scored a couple of runs with a base hit and was hit by a pitch. Medica will take over at first base.
Well, let's ask the pinch hitting extraordinaire, aficionado, Superman, Mark Sweeney, Tommy Medica coming up pinch hitting here against the lefty. What's he looking for, Mark?
Medica, a key hit on the 6-0 win last night, a 2-run double. 3-run Padre fourth inning. Sent them off to the 3-0 lead and eventually a 6-0 victory. Hit high in the air, deep left field. Back goes Colvin. And it is gone. Touch 'em all. Medica, pinch home run. Measured it just right. Barely over that padded wall. And the Padres take a 7-2 lead on Medica's home run. The Padres leading the major leagues in pinch home runs. Get another. Medica's fourth home run of the season, and it's our Bill Howe play of the game. Colvin reaching up just out of his reach. Look how close that was. And Bill Howe says, hey, let the fan have a souvenir. He didn't reach over the wall for it, and Medica has extended the Padre lead to 7-2. Maben pulls it foul.
Well, Mark Sweeney, you mentioned it. Pinch hitter Tommy Medica looking for the fastball. Looked like he got that fastball from Lopez. Good looking swing. That's a great day in the big leagues, isn't it? Pinch hitting duty late in the game. You go yard.
Bouncer up the middle, and Panic takes care of it, and Maben gone for the second out.
Well, this is what I love about Tommy Medica, guys. And Mark Sweeney, take it from here, because I love it when a guy comes out of his shoes on a fastball.
You almost see the bat bend on that swing. So Medica, home run number 4. Good insurance run that gives the Padres the 5-run lead out of Grand Slam range. And here's the hitting star of the game, Alexi Amarista. Single, RBI double, 2-run single, and he's made a couple of nice plays in the field. 1-1. Two balls and a strike now to Amarista, with a pitcher's spot due next. And Kristen Orpheus in the on-deck circle. And he punches that foul. Alexi with 3 hits tonight, but his best, he had a 5-for-5 night at Colorado, remember? He'll take a 4-for-4, but he won't on this occasion as he chases ball 3. But the Padres get a big added run from pinch hitter Tommy Medica. Home run to left, and San Diego is now in front 7-2. That's Padres Baseball, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. By Petco, the power of together. And by Deliver Us from Evil, in theaters July 2nd. New pitcher for the Padres as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning is Blaine Boyer. Medica stays in the game at first base, and Chase Peterson enters the game for Amarista at second.
Well, a good opportunity here for Blaine Boyer with the Padre lead here, up by 5. In the short time for Blaine, hey, it's good to see him back in the big leagues and put up the good numbers in the 5 1/3 frames that he has tossed.
And delivers a strike. Blanco. Seven to 2, the Padres lead here in the home half of the 8th inning.
Oh, that's got a nice ring to it.
Get this, the Padres, with the home run by Medica, have hit double figures in the hit column. That hasn't happened in 15 games to get 10 hits.
Yeah, need to see more of that, and I love the way that Tommy Medica swung the bat in that pinch hit appearance. It's got to be a good feeling for the Padre first baseman now going in to play defense.
He would have to rank as perhaps, along with Quinton, the most aggressive hitter for the Padres. He goes after it. 1-1. Ground ball to short, or second rather, and Peterson right there. He gets a chance immediately. One away. Boy, if the major league teams had a beard contest, the Padres would be the favorite. Odds on 3-5.
Well, it seems to be very popular these days. You look around all of Major League Baseball, and guys are growing out the facial hair. Going back to the that'd be like early 70s, wouldn't it? When a lot of facial hair was very popular. Cleaned it up in the 50s, not a lot. Then the 60s rolled around. Everybody's, peace and love and all that stuff. Then the 70s come around. Studio 54. Everybody's growing the long salad. The leisure suits, which I'm sure you still have a few in your closet.
A couple of Nehrus, yeah.
And, Houston Street always goes with the Miami Vice look. Not a full beard, but not a clean shave. Brandon Belt.
They miss his bat. Fractured thumb hit by a pitch, and he's about to come back. Hunter Pence 1-0. Pence has struck out, popped up, and struck out.
I think of relievers with beards. Jeff Reardon, Bruce Sutter.
You grow a nice beard in the offseason, Yeah. You shave it off before.
I think I'm going to give that up.
Spring training.
Yeah.
Mary's after you, huh? 1-1 to Pence.
Good pitch.
Off speed, out in front, a curveball. That was the pitch that convinced Blaine Boyer he shouldn't give up his career. Went to Japan and refound the curveball. Looks like Joaquin Benoit and Houston Street will have another night off. Peterson has to play a tough hop, bare hand, and gets him anyway with a one-hopper to Medica. That you don't often see from a second baseman. The high second bounce, and he bare hands and throws him out.
What in the Omar Vizquel is going on there at second base? We saw Omar Vizquel many years from shortstop make that play, and the one hop way out in front of Medica, so it really doesn't fool him. Boy, that's you hardly ever see that, do you?
Yeah. Hey, when you're tackling 250-pound tight ends as a safety in college football, then that just might as well just go use your. What do you need a mitt for? Buster Posey doubled in a run the last time, sharply hit right to Cabrera. Fires across, and that's it for the Giants as Boyer retires them in order on 3 ground ball outs. Ninth inning here at AT&T Park. A sellout crowd of 41,546. That makes it 286 consecutive sellouts to see the Giants. Yosmero Petit worked an inning last night, and 3 up, 3 down on ground ball outs. Will face the bottom of the order, Jace Peterson, on the double switch, hitting in the 9th spot.
Tell you what, you really got to be proud of these the gritty gutties, the gritty gutty Padres against these Giants in the second game and first game of the series. Taking it to these Giants and Bruce Bochy.
Peterson hits it well, but to the left fielder Colvin for the first down. Brings up the leadoff man Will Venable.
Last night scoring 6 and shutting out these Giants, and then tonight scoring 7. Hits coming in bunches and putting up some crooked numbers. Nice to see.
There's something else that's kind of a hidden statistic we haven't talked about, but they're 1 inning away from going 7 straight games without giving up a home run.
Interesting.
That's the best this season. That's a good run. Venable into the right field corner, just foul. That's about as foul by as much distance as Amarista's double was fair earlier in the game. How close was it? About the width of the baseball foul, or diameter of the baseball, maybe a little more, a foot. Venable's knocked in a couple of runs without a base hit. Knocked in the first run of the game with a sacrifice fly in the 3rd, and his ground ball out in the 5th inning with a man at 3rd and less than 2 outs. Knocked in another. His 13th and 14th RBIs of the year. Everett Cabrera on deck.
You know, it's a good sign of this ballpark, Dick, is when you're the visiting team and you have a lot of seagulls circling.
That's right.
That's a good sign, seriously.
There it really is.
Because the Giants fans have left and they want the scraps.
Those are the vultures.
Yes.
For the Giants when they're not doing well.
Alfred Hitchcock's dream.
Bring him in.
Coming all the way from Bodega Bay.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres. Tippi Hedren. How about Tippi Hedren? Remember her and the Birds? How you doing? It was a great movie. Come on.
Oh, it was. Yes, yes, yes. Out of play, Cabrera. He's 0 for 4 tonight. Had a couple of hits last night.
You know who else was in that movie?
Tell me.
She played in a sitcom with Bob Newhart. Suzanne Plachette.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now I'm getting you going.
Yeah, Johnny Carson. That was one of his favorite guests, Suzanne. Hubba hubba.
She had a rough going in that movie, The Birds.
Can't win them all.
Tough day in the big leagues there.
That's movies. Drops in the breaking ball, 1-2. 3 hits for Amarista, 2 Maben. Pinch home run Medica. Jake Goldberg with a hit. Grandal, Headley, and Smith with base hits tonight. Total of 10. Andrew Kashner on the shelf. Watch out. Boy, Cabrera hits the worst line drives into the crowd of anyone that we've seen in the National League. Well, in the minor leagues, congratulations. Hunter Renfroe, the top pick for the Padres a year ago, has been named to the Major League Baseball All-Star Futures game, as has Tayron Guerrero. 6-1 record at Fort Wayne. 17 home runs for Renfroe.
Congratulations to those guys. Nicely done. It's quite an honor.
Up the middle, and Cabrera has a ground ball single to center. 11th hit of the night for the Padres. That'll bring up Seth Smith. Single and a walk tonight. Every regular with a base hit in the lineup for Bud Black tonight, except Venable, and he has 2 RBIs on well placed outs. Good stop by Posey. Bottom of the 9th inning, the Giants have the middle of their order: Sandoval, Morse, and Colvin. And I guess Blaine Boyer will be asked to pitch another inning. No one warming up. Giants have fallen on tough times here at home. Should they lose tonight, the last 9 games here at AT&T, they're 1-8.
Yeah, and that's very uncharacteristic. I know every team goes through its skid and its slide, but winning here in San Francisco, if you're the opposing team, is always tough to do, I've always thought. But Bruce Bochy trying to put it together.
Line drive, another hit for Smith. He beats the shift, and holding at second base is Cabrera. Another 2-hit night for Seth Smith.
And a solid hit at that, huh? That was on the sweet spot. You can hear that one all the way up here. So you just get to appreciate Seth Smith each and every day when you see him bat and put swing on baseball like this one here. Elevated backdoor cutter, getting extended and pulling it. And those are the kinds of swings.
Look where Panic is, the second baseman.
Yep.
He can't get it. And with 2 outs, 2 on. Chase Headley back hitting left-handed. He's walked, hit into a double play, singled and scored, and grounded to short. His hit came batting left-handed against Tim Hudson. Shot it to left field. Good to have Chase back in the lineup. First game since last Thursday. 1-1. 7-2 Padres. 12-hit attack tonight. And 2-1. Yeah, the big news. Jesse Hahn, 3rd straight outstanding start as he follows Orisamer Despaignet's great shutout 7 innings last night in a 6-0 shutout Padre win. Ground ball, shortstop Crawford trying to get the force. No, he goes across, and what a throw from submarine level. Crawford making a very tough play to deny Chase Headley. Padres a couple of hits, leave 2. Thought he was going to go to second for the force. He figured, well, he wasn't going to be able to get there. Look at this throw. That strength of arm from down there. Oh, my. The game is Alexi Amarista. 3 consecutive hits, single at the middle, a double just inside the foul line to knock in a run. That was in the 5th inning, and a single through the right side knocked in another run. 3 for 4 for Alexi, 3 RBIs, and a couple of dandy plays in the field. Alexi Amarista, our Carl's Jr. star of the game. Great to get that kind of hitting performance out of your number 8 batter in the lineup. Blaine Boyer faces Pablo Sandoval, an infield hit in 3 trips for the Giant third baseman. Boyer retired the side in order on groundouts in the 8th. Hits his spot, strike 1. Morrison, then Colden to follow. Broken bat foul back of the screen. Boy, he got in his kitchen there. Well, a reminder, tomorrow a day game, fans. 12:30 our TV time here on Fox Sports San Diego. Good matchup. Ian Kennedy will go for win number 6. Tim Lincecum for the Giants. He too looking for that 6th victory of the season. 12:30 tomorrow. And then back home for Thursday, an off day. The Tony Gwynn tribute Petco on Thursday night, and then the start of a 3-game series with Arizona Friday night. Arizona for 3. We'll see Cincinnati for 3, and then these Giants will be in for the following weekend, 3 games. Ian Kennedy will go tomorrow. 1-2 to Sandoval. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout pitch working for the Padres against these Giants tonight. That's the 11th Giant to go down on strikes. Tim Lincecum, popular right-hander. You never know quite what you're going to get. Sometimes brilliant, sometimes walks a lot and gives up the long ball. Kennedy and Lincecum tomorrow, 12:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego. Kennedy has pitched in tough luck this year. Should have more wins than his record shows.
So even the foul balls off this guy's bat are rockets.
He just, it almost looks as if he uses a longer bat than other players. Yeah, that's a big piece of lumber up there.
You know, you're absolutely right, Dick, because he's so big. He's 6'5". But you're right. And usually when there's a big hitter using a bat, the bat will look smaller, but that bat does look big in the hands of the kid with the big frame.
He holds it away from his body here. 1-1. And he got in on the handle, 1-2.
Well, this is good for Blaine Boyer, too. Starting, his 2nd inning of work. He had a perfect 8th inning, 1-2-3 top of the order. And I've always thought, for a guy to come in with a 5-run lead right here to finish your game, that's a great feeling. To get that last out and shake hands with your catcher, great feeling for Blaine Boyer. Got 2 outs to go.
Ooh, took a good pitch there. Did not go around. Well, I'm going to borrow one of your favorite words, Mark Grant.
Okay.
It's a conundrum.
Oh, nice.
That the Giants, against teams with winning records, 500 or above, are 27-13. Against teams with losing records, if they lose tonight, they're 18-19.
No kidding.
How do you figure that?
You know what that is? That's a big league hang with them.
I thought it was the big league conundrum.
Big league conundrum. You're right, and you know what? Those are statistics to where you really can't put your finger on it and come up with a definite answer. You ask managers, you ask coaches and players. It's just, I hate to say it, but that's baseball.
Well, think about Bochy. The Giants face a Despaigne last night. No one knows anything about the Cuban that had a 7+ ERA, and now Young Han tonight, both pitching brilliantly with a big swing.
I don't know what it is. We just can't play well against those teams that we should beat. I don't know, Mark. Just got to keep battling.
All done with
love.
Coach. With love, I know.
Absolutely. Good man right there. Hey, but when it comes game time, right? They're the enemy, right?
Absolutely. 2-2. Ground ball to third. Headley right there. Throw a little offline, but the tag made by Medica for the second out. That'll bring up Colvin, who was struck out, grounded out, RBI ground out, and then struck out again. The trips to San Francisco haven't always been pleasant for the Padres. After an out away from taking the series, a couple of outstanding games, 6-0, and tonight 7-2. And this should do it. High fly ball to left. Smith settling in under it. And the Padres beat the Giants. Final score, San Diego 7, San Francisco 2. Padres Live right around the corner. And here's Mike Pomerantz.